Good morning, folks. Welcome back to the farm here. Yesterday, as you probably see in the background, we got a lot of stuff planted. We got cucumbers, tomatoes, zucchini, squash, peppers, watermelons, cantaloupes, some more cabbage, a few more cold crops, some peppers. So I think that's about it. And apologize I didn't get a lot of footage yesterday, but it's kind of feeling a little under the weather. This time of year, the sinuses are really bad for me, and I honestly, it was all I could do just to get through the day, to get everything planted. So today we've got some more stuff to finish. We had some areas in the plastic that we didn't have enough plants to fill up, so went and got some more plants, and so we're going to plant some more peppers, some more watermelons and stuff to finish out again some of the areas on the plastic, a little bit of eggplant. And really wasn't planning on this this year, so this is kind of a last minute decision to do. We had 4 rows of plastic that we really didn't know what we wanted to do with. We were about at our limit for what we wanted to plant tomato wise. You know, for all the other crops we were at the limit of what we wanted to plant. So I had the opportunity to purchase some strawberry plants, so we're gonna go ahead and plant 4 rows of strawberries. And these strawberries are kind of big already, and they've actually already got fruit on them, so don't know how this is going to turn out, but we're going to go ahead and try it. So I'm going to go, I've got to fill up the tractor with water and put some fertilizer in the transplanter water. Once we get this planted, we still got our second planting of sweet corn to plant, and our second planting of green beans. So we got to do that today. I'll have to take the tractor over to Kentucky plant, bring the planter back over. You guys know how that goes. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, but at this point, I trust the weather report about as much as I do wet fart. So it could rain tomorrow, could not. They're calling for 70% chance tomorrow. Who knows? So may not come in tomorrow evening, but I'd still rather go ahead and get this stuff done today while it's nice, to make sure that we've got it planted. Green beans are up, you know, everything's looking great so far, so I wouldn't mind the rain. Hopefully it holds off till we get all this stuff planted and done for the day. Yeah, just don't ask. You don't see this. Just you know, just don't worry about that. It works. That's all that matters. So what we're doing, starting out, we're going to start out with the watermelons, because that's basically where we left off yesterday. And the biggest reason we're doing that is the different plant spacing that we use for watermelons versus peppers, strawberries, and different crops just require different spacing. So once we finish with the watermelons and last few plants of summer squash, yellow squash, we have to change these spikes on the water wheel. So that's these items right here. Right now there's only 3 spikes on there, so that's 31-inch spacing. So we'll put the peppers and stuff on 17-inch spacing, and the strawberries actually go on 12-inch spacing. So we'll have to change that over a couple times once we switch in between crops, but we're going to go ahead and get this going and get these in the ground. right, so we have gotten everything on the plastic filled up, minus probably another flat of peppers. When I bought the peppers, I didn't realize they were in 32 to a flat, minus instead of 48. So we're a flat short on that. But other than that, we've moved on to the strawberries. So I've got the wheel changed over, so it's on 12-inch spacing. I actually took the trailer down to the house and watered the strawberries because they were a little bit on the dry side, and it just makes them easier to come out of the trays when we're planting them if they're a little wet. So yeah, so we're doing good. We got to get those 4 rows of strawberries planted. Then we'll probably maybe finish up the peppers tonight if we get time. If not, it's no big deal, we'll do it later. And we also got to plant some potatoes. So getting closer to have all the plants done, and then head over to Kentucky and get the sweet corn planted. And these are probably going to be a pain to plant. All right, after about 2 hours longer than it should have taken, we have strawberries planted. Still got a little place right here, as you can see, we didn't get quite done. If I can get another tray of plants, probably go ahead and finish that out. But had a considerable amount of problems planting these strawberries. They were in 4-pack containers, but they were bigger than normal size. I mean, they're not really meant, these weren't meant to be planted commercially, kind of like what we're doing. They were just meant like you could buy them in 4-packs and take it to your house and plant them in your garden or whatever. But the gentleman had a bunch of extra plants, and again, so we just bought them. We wasn't really planning on raising strawberries, but we got a good deal on them, and we thought we'd give it a shot because we had the space here in the field to do it. But we had to end up taking all the plants out of the plastic containers, all 960 of them, and then come out here and plant them, because we couldn't get them out of the trays fast enough to put them in the ground. So that's one of the reasons I didn't get a lot of footage on that. It's just because it was taking, we were just having a lot of problems with it. But now that all this is done, we got to hook up to the gooseneck and get the tractor loaded and head to Kentucky. So now it's about 4 o'clock-ish on Friday the 13th of all days. What we got to do now is I've got to, of course, change the meters out because we still got the pumpkin meters in here from when we planted the watermelon and cantaloupe, so we've got to switch those over for the corn meters. And then we're going to plant 8 rows of sweet corn. That should be enough for our next planting, which will be a little bit more than, it's like 1/3 of an acre, I believe, is what, if I add the length of the field times the width of the planter and do all that math, it's what it comes out to be. And then we're going to put the transport lock on and disengage stuff, and then take the fancy planter here back over to Indiana to plant some green beans. So again, just a lot of the equipment shuffle, so to speak. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get that done and catch up with you then. I came out to the where we planted watermelons and cantaloupes. I wanted to see how that was working out because again, I've never direct seeded watermelons. I have cantaloupes in the past, and those have done fine in the past. But as far as the watermelon, I wasn't for sure how that was going to work out. But we do have germination. You can see a guy there 4 feet away. I noticed that this clod was pushing up, so there's another guy that's coming out as well as here. So this rain coming through is going to help them get on out of the ground. We definitely don't want it to, get real dry and the ground crust over so much that the plants break their neck when they're trying to push out of the ground. Because when they start to germinate, it's almost like if you're holding your finger like this and they're wanting to, bend up to come out of the ground. So if the ground is crusted over and it's really hard, when they're trying to push that dirt open, they'll break their neck, so to speak, and then die. So we don't want that to happen. So this rain coming through, hopefully tomorrow, should help that. It is a little damp out here. I mean, it's not super dry by any means. This field kind of holds water as it is, so as long as it doesn't turn off super dry, we should be all right. We did plant some watermelon and cantaloupe in Indiana by our stand, where our stand's going to be. Those will be ready sooner because they're already a plant, so to speak. They're already up out of the ground. They were germinated in the greenhouse, so those should be ready a lot sooner. So I thought I'd come check on the popcorn, since we were already in this field down this way, and it's looking really good so far. Got really good weed control, and it's really up and growing. It won't be long before we need to apply some our second application of nitrogen to this. So I'm pretty happy with how the popcorn's turned out so far. Again, this is the first time that we've ever grown any popcorn, but so far it's looking good, and we should have some field fresh popcorn to sell to everybody this fall. Well, we got everything hooked up and it's in transport mode. We're ready to head back to Indiana. One thing I found that's kind of concerning is I've got a little crack here. Now, from the looks of it, it doesn't look fresh. It looks like it's been there for a long time, but going to have to fix that. Hopefully, it's going to make it home like that. I think we're just going to chance it. I'm going to get a chain out of the truck and kind of rig up some type of safety chain just in case it does break away, but I think we'll be all right. All right, so we made it home without any incidents. You can see my little fancy safety chain I rigged up here, but I don't see any further cracks. Actually, it's untelling how long it's actually been cracked. It's I just happened to look down and see it when I was taking the jack off, so could have been there for a long time. We're just going to take it easy for now. I'm going to go ahead and unhook it, and we've got to take the water wheel off the 6210, get this out of transport mode, put the bean cups in there, and then plant some green beans. We're also going to plant some sunflowers. I got a big bag of sunflower seed in the truck with big sunflowers in it. The sunflower experiment that we did didn't do too well, I don't believe. It's really sporadic of where they're coming up at. I see a few out here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But you can see some ever so often, and the spacing is supposed to be much closer than that. So there's some sporadically spread throughout this area here. Probably won't replant this. I'll leave this alone for now, but definitely going to replant the 12 rows that we planted over there, because we want to have a nice place and a nice kind of background for people to take pictures and stuff. And the sunflowers that I got, they're kind of a taller variety for things like that. These here are just more for like your cut type sunflowers, like just for decorations and stuff like that. And looking back, I probably should have went with the other ones to begin with. Again, I just thought I'd try this out and see what would happen. We do have potting soil in, or at least part of our potting soil in. So another idea I was thinking about was to reuse some of the trays that we got our plants in and put potting soil in there, and then seed those with the sunflower seeds, the cut type sunflower seeds that I have, and see what happens there, and maybe sell them that way, so at least the seed doesn't go to waste. Didn't make it back to the garden center where I got some of our plants before they closed, so it doesn't look like, at least for now, we're not going to finish up the plastic that we have empty. Really, we're talking about maybe 50 peppers and 30 strawberries. Maybe down to, maybe not, easy for me to say, right? I may not even be able to get any more strawberries, so we maybe just have what we have and go with that. Another thing on the agenda for this evening, hopefully before it gets dark, is to put on the cultivator and cultivate the bulks of the rows here in between the plastic. When we went through with the mulch layer, you can kind of see these ridges that it leaves in the middles of the row. Well, the cultivator will level that out and make it more smooth. Right now, with the way it is it wants to make water run right down in those trenches where the mulch layer went. So that's not a real good thing to have happen. We did have an instance, because it was last weekend when we got like 2 inches. It was pretty heavy downpour where it actually washed underneath the plastic, and it washed pretty bad, and we had to come back and put some dirt on the plastic. It was down here in this lower corner where that happened. So don't want that to happen again, and by running the cultivator through here should alleviate some of that problem. So we got to get that done, hopefully before it rains. If it rains, who knows? So it's supposed to rain tomorrow, we'll see. So it's the end of the day, folks. But it's getting close to probably 9 o'clock. Sun's kind of went down over the trees, but cooled off. Nice cool evening, but we got everything cultivated. Sunflowers planted, replanted, that is. Green beans, sweet corn, strawberries. You know, pretty much everything we wanted to get done today, we got done today. So I call that a win in my book. And I think now it's time to maybe go eat some supper and relax, I think, for the rest of the evening. But we appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time. Later.